What's up, Raptors fans? Welcome to the Wars Report. Today, I want to talk about Norman Powell. So, Norman Powell, who's been playing absolutely out of his mind as a starter. I want to look at what the Raptors should do with Norman Powell, whether they should keep him, trade him, what are some of our options. I do want to take a look at both sides of the benefits and the pros and cons of keeping or trading him. So before I get into the details of this video, I need you to do me a favor. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps reach a larger YouTube audience when you do that. And if you're looking for Raptors content, the latest Raptors rumors, and I take a deep dive into stats as well. If you really like that, you get a lot of Raptors content on here. So please hit that subscribe button. You really help this channel grow. With that being said, let's jump right into it. So before I talk about whether the Raptors should keep Norman Powell or not, I do want to quickly take a look at some of his numbers. I'm going to take a look at his numbers off the bench and when he's playing as a starter. So you see off the bench in 11 games this season, he's averaging 10.5 points. His field goal percentage is awful. We know he started the season off really terrible, but he's just not that same player. But his three-point percentage was still pretty decent off the bench. And for those who are unaware, ORTG stands for offensive rating, which is how many points that player has contributed to or scored per 100 possessions. And DRTG is defensive rating, so that's how many points that player allows per 100 possessions. So you see his statistics there, and you'll be surprised when you see the next screen here. So this is his stats as a starter. So again, it's a huge jump, and understandably, most players who get more minutes or are playing in the starting position, they're obviously going to average more points, but it's not like his points or his playing time increased a lot. I just think he's more comfortable playing as a starter, especially with Pascal and Fred VanVleet. Those are his guys that he's been playing with for years off the bench. So playing with them, I think he plays a lot better. It's crazy to think. You look at his stats here, it's like looking at two different player statistics if I were not to tell you, but his 22.6 points is really good. And these are his stats in 24 games as a starter this season with the Raptors. So his field goal percentage as well. Look at that field goal percentage, 52.8% is really good for a shooting guard. I know he plays the small forward position, but that's his natural position as a shooting guard. And his three-point percentage as well takes a huge leap. 45.5% is no joke. He's shooting really well from the three-point line as well. And his offensive rating takes a big jump as well, as you see there. So now it becomes a tricky question. What do the Raptors do with Norman Powell? Do we capitalize on the fact that he's playing out of his mind and we should trade him for a center, which is obviously something the Raptors are in dire need of? Or should we stick with Norman Powell and be like, you know what, he can definitely grow with the Raptors, and he's only 27 years old, I believe, 26, 27, so he's still got a lot of years left in him and he can grow with the Raptors. So I want to make my case, but I do want to take a look at the next screen as well, and I'll explain why I'm showing you this screen. So you see the salary cap situation for the 2021-2022 season. The salary cap is expected to be at 112 million, and the maximum you can go up to is 136.6 million. If you go above that, it's luxury tax. So 112 million. I want to show you this next screen, and it'll make a lot of sense why I'm showing you this screen. So you take a look at our salary cap for the Raptors. You see the 2021-2022 season, and you'll know why. You look at our salary cap, which is at the very bottom of the screen. You'll notice the team salary is 100 million. And as I just showed you on that previous screen, the salary cap for teams are 112 million. So if Norman Powell, likely he will, decline his 11.6 million player option and try to opt for a bigger deal. If he does opt out of that, if my math is horrible, but I think it's around 89 million with him declining that option. So 89 million leaves us about 20 somewhat million to re-sign him and Kyle Lowry. But the question as Raptors fans, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to ask us, if we sign Norman Powell and Kyle Lowry back, then this is going to be our core for the future. And we're unlikely, unless we draft a center, we're not going to get a quality center player. So you look at the salary cap for the next season. Obviously, you see Pascal, Fred, and OG are locked in. But then you have Norman Powell as well. Can you see? I feel like the goal for Masai Ujiri is a championship or really high competitive basketball. And I'm not saying the Raptors are not able to do that, but can you really see Pascal, Fred, OG, and Norm developing to those players that can take us to that next step? Personally speaking, without being biased, I know a lot of people may disagree. I don't think they can. I know OG is projected to be the next Kawhi, but I've still yet to see his dribbling skills improve a lot. I know it's a work in progress, but He's definitely shown flashes offensively, but I don't personally see these four guys taking us to the next level. I still feel like we need another star player, and that's why personally I feel like, and you can disagree with this, but I feel like Norman Powell, you have to trade him right now with how well he's playing. Capitalize on that. Trade him for a center or a young piece moving forward or a future first round draft pick. Get those assets, and then you can trade that for a superstar, or you know what, just acquire a nice player who has more potential. Again, nothing against Norman Powell, not to say he can't, but as you see his age there, he's 27 years old. So is Fred VanVleet, but personally, I don't see Norman Powell developing a lot more than what he currently is. So it becomes a really tricky situation. So if we were to trade Norman Powell right now, again, you get a nice piece back, but also because you'll be stuck with that position of if you keep Norman Powell, you're going to have to either lose him in the free agency, and it's either going to be that or you're re-signing him for what I think is going to be around 16 to 20 million dollars in free agency, what he'll command. Some other teams might throw him a lot more money if they're really desperate, but that's personally what I think he would, especially considering what Fred VanVleet is getting paid. You think Norman will make a little bit less than Fred, so then you're stuck with Norman 16, 17, 18 million, and you have to re-sign Kyle Lowry as well. You don't want to let him walk away for nothing, and he's, the greatest Raptor of all time. So then you're stuck with these guys, and then you don't really have a center. Obviously, you can decline Aaron Baines's 7.3 million team option you have there, but the reason I want to talk about this right now is if you trade Norman Powell, his 11.6 million comes off the book. You remove Aaron Baines, you decline his option for next season, and with that salary, 100 million, you remove both of that. That leaves you around 81.5 million dollars in cap space, and that gives you about 20, 30 million in cap space to sign, go out, sign a superstar. And I'm going to go on the next screen here. I know the free agency isn't as sexy as it used to be with Giannis and Paul George and some other guys as well that were projected to be free agents this offseason, including Rudy Gobert. But it's still a really nice free agency when you two take a look at this. So that being said, we do have to be honest with ourselves as Raptors fans. Let's be honest, top key free agents for whatever reason do not want to come to the Raptors, and that's on them. Even though we have a good system and we're literally, I believe, a superstar away from going back to the deep into the playoffs. But that being said, we can trade away Norman Powell, but it's hard to attract free agents for whatever reason. So we can try and save that cap space, but it won't really matter if we're not able to sign these guys. With that being said, I do want to go back on the previous screen. I want to talk about some of the pros of signing Norman Powell. You look at his age, he's only 27 years old. He's got a lot of years left in him, and he's homegrown, so he's played within our system. He knows how it works, and particularly Pascal, Fred, and OG. He's played with these guys for years, so he's very comfortable in that situation. And let's be honest, if we're going out in the free agent market and looking to sign someone who's averaging 20 plus points a game, you're easily paying someone 20 plus million, 22 plus million easily. And Norman Powell, I do believe you can get him a home discount and you can sign him somewhere around 17, 18, 19 million. So that's another bonus. You're signing a 20-point score for 18 million. That's a pretty good deal. And if you're overly optimistic like me, you can obviously assume Norman is going to take his game to the next level, which helps the Raptors get much better as a team. Another thing I want to talk about, which is a huge bonus of signing Norman Powell, his style of play. So as we know in half court offense, especially during the playoffs, when the opposite team has their defenses set, we need players that can attack the rim. Norman Powell is one of those players that does that, and he attracts the defender's attention. And as we know, some three-point shooters are open, so that attracts a lot of attention from the defenders, and it leaves gives some other guys open shots. So we do need someone like that as well. So that's one of the bonuses. Again, like I said, he's played within our system. We know how he plays. He plays decent defensively, and he's a shooting guard, which he can slide into next year. We can re-sign Kyle Lowry and have him come off the bench and let Norman take the reins from that shooting guard position or, backcourt. And he can guard multiple positions. He's 6'3", 6'4". Even when you switch out onto other guards or small forward, he can guard point guards. He can guard. So that's another bonus. He can guard multiple positions. He's a decent defender. So that is some of the bonuses of re-signing Norman Powell. But before I do end this video off, I do want to hear what you guys think. Should we capitalize on Norman Powell's amazing play as of late and try to trade for a center or trade for future assets that we can kind of grow within our system and make it part of our core in the future? or should we keep Norman Powell and re-sign him? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know in that comment section. So with that being said, guys, I will be ending the video off here. So thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.